There's a kind of maturity that doesn't come from wisdom. It comes from survival, and it's the one that steals your childhood long before you ever get a chance to live it. You know the type. The child who never complains, never asks, never breaks. The one everyone calls so responsible, while inside, something ancient is breaking. What happens to that child when they grow up? It begins quietly, no drama, no warning. Just a slow shift in a small soul that realizes, if I don't hold everything together, everything falls apart. Psychologists have a name for this: parentification, when a child becomes the caretaker, the emotional container, the stabilizer of the home. They manage emotions too heavy for their small shoulders. They become the family's emotional thermostat, adjusting themselves so others don't explode. It looks noble, it sounds mature, but it's a silent inversion of nature itself. And the cost? A lifetime of emotional confusion, anxiety, and a nervous system that never stops scanning for danger. Chapter 1. The Day a Child Disappears. Elias was the quiet kid in class. Teachers called him so mature. At home, his father drank, and his mother worked double shifts to keep food on the table. No one told him to take care of things. He just did. He comforted his sister when the shouting started. He cleaned before anyone asked. He smiled when he wanted to scream. Elias learned to earn love through usefulness. He didn't know it then, but what grew inside him wasn't confidence. It was hypervigilance. A constant scanning for danger. A nervous system stuck in what might go wrong next. That vigilance, meant to protect, became his personality. Chapter 2. The Good Child Mask. Years pass, and the good child becomes the reliable adult. Always available, always calm. They anticipate needs before anyone speaks. They mediate arguments, lighten moods, sacrifice weekends, and call it responsibility. But inside, a quiet ache grows, because being the strong one means you can never fall apart. You stop asking for help because you've convinced yourself others have it worse. You achieve not from joy, but from fear. Fear that without constant performance, no one would need you anymore. From the outside, people applaud. Discipline, competence, emotional intelligence. But underneath, there's exhaustion. And the cruelest part, even joy feels suspicious, like a setup for disappointment. Chapter 3. The Nervous System That Never Learned. Peace. When chaos is your childhood, calm feels like danger. Stillness feels wrong. Your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. In adulthood, Elias couldn't rest. He called it ambition. In truth, it was anxiety wearing a tie. He worked late, volunteered for everything, avoided silence because silence meant hearing himself. This is what trauma often looks like when it grows up. You become hyper-independent. You push people away before they can fail you. You confuse control with safety. Your mind learned one rule early. If I don't manage everything, everything falls apart. And so, even safety feels threatening because it's unfamiliar. Chapter 4. The Transaction of Love. Children who grow up too early learn a tragic formula. Love equals service. Peace equals performance. Attachment equals self-erasure. For Elias, affection always came with a condition: be quiet, be useful, be good. So he carried that blueprint into relationships. He chose partners he could fix, friends he could rescue. He listened deeply but spoke little. When people asked what he needed, he froze. Because to need is dangerous, to want is selfish. So he gave everything, and quietly resented everyone. This is not kindness, It's conditioning. A child once traded authenticity for belonging and never learned how to trade back. Chapter 5. The Inner Child That Never Died. Fast forward years later. Elias achieves success, but feels hollow. Praise no longer reaches him. Behind the calm exterior lives a child still waiting for someone to notice his hurt. That inner child never vanished. It just learned to hide. It whispers through exhaustion, numbness, burnout. It cries when no one else is around. It doesn't want more achievements. It wants safety. It wants someone to say, "You shouldn't have had to carry that." But waiting for someone else to say it keeps the wound open, because no one can give retroactive parenting. Only you, as the adult you've become, can finally offer the words you needed to hear. You were just a child. You didn't deserve that. You get to rest now. Chapter 6. The Biology of Abandonment. None of this happens because a child is weak. It happens because the brain is built for attachment before autonomy. A child will do anything to preserve connection, even abandon themselves. Biologically, the nervous system equates disconnection with death. So when safety and love conflict, the brain chooses attachment every time. The cost? Authenticity. That's not a flaw. It's intelligence. Survival intelligence. But survival mode has an expiration date. The mind stays alert long after the threat is gone. And you find yourself adult-sized, but emotionally starving. Every unhealed child grows into an adult who still negotiates for love, just in more sophisticated ways, through success, caretaking, or perfection. Chapter 7. The Mirror Called Adulthood. Maybe you see yourself in this. Maybe you're the one everyone relies on. The rock. The problem solver. But inside, you feel detached, like you're watching your own life from outside the frame. That's what happens when a child disappears to survive. You grow up, but never fully arrive. In friendships, you're the therapist. In relationships, you overgive. At work, you burn out chasing approval. You apologize for crying. You downplay your pain. You say, "It wasn't that bad," because admitting it was breaks the illusion that you're fine. But fine isn't healing. It's defense. Healing starts when you stop gaslighting yourself about your own suffering. You don't need to compare pain to justify it. Neglect is trauma too, even if it came wrapped in politeness and praise. Chapter 8. The Shadow Work. Psychologist Carl Jung once said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." Facing your shadow, your abandoned, ashamed, and angry parts, sounds poetic, but it's brutal work. Shadow work isn't about fixing yourself. It's about meeting the pieces you've exiled and saying, "I see you. You can come home now." For Elias, that looked like simple moments, pausing before overcommitting, allowing anger without apology, learning that rest isn't laziness, it's reclaiming what was stolen. Over time, what was once reactive became reflective. He stopped performing calm and started cultivating safety. He stopped trying to prove his worth and began remembering it. That's the power of awareness. When you understand that your coping mechanisms were once genius survival strategies, you can stop hating them and start outgrowing them. Chapter 9. The New Identity. Healing from a stolen childhood doesn't mean becoming someone new. It means becoming someone real. Someone who no longer needs to earn permission to exist. Strength, when born from fear, drains you. But strength reborn from truth, from softness, that's freedom. Elias no longer measures his value in usefulness. He's still capable, still caring, but now from fullness, not fear. That's the quiet transformation of a reparented soul. When you learn that maturity isn't about control, it's about integration. If you were that child, the one who grew up too fast, know this: your pain wasn't imaginary, and your strength wasn't a choice. You survived a role you were never meant to play, but survival was never the finish line. The real work begins when you allow yourself to stop surviving, when you let softness replace vigilance, when you let rest be enough. You never had a childhood, but you still have a future. And this time, you don't have to earn it. You can live it.